one. Where are we? We're in the basement. What's happening, everybody? Good evening, and welcome to another edition of Live from My Mother's Basement with yours truly, comedian Mike Marino. I am so happy to be here right now because guess where we really are? We're really in the basement. Yeah, for the last couple of weeks, I don't know where I was around the world. We did Los Angeles, we did Florida, we did Philadelphia, we did God knows where. But here we are now, home in the real basement where I grew up with one of my favorite entertainers, ladies and gentlemen. Please say hello to my fellow comedian, Bob DiBuono, ladies and gentlemen. What's up,
good
man?
to see you, buddy. Good
Thank
to
you
see
so
you.
much for coming over.
Thank you for having me. Thank you.
I appreciate you coming down the steps. You almost tripped. We got a last step over there. It's really fucked up. Everybody trips on that shit. I guess it's the joke my mother tried to pull on people when we were kids.
Right,
you know what I mean?
right, sure.
Go down the basement. Watch out you don't break
Yeah,
your
they always
skull.
tell you after you fall too. Watch out for the step after you're laid out and you're knocked out.
Isn't that true? Watch out for the steps. I already broke my leg. Let's have some ginger ale.
Ginger ale.
I'm assuming that you're 100% Italian with a name like Bob DiBuono.
3/4 Italian, 1/4 Irish.
Oh,
But we don't mention that part.
I know. I think I know why, because I offered him a beer a couple times. He said, "I'll have the water." I'm like, "Wow, what's
That's
going
the
on in
Irish
his
part.
world?"
That's the Irish. Yeah, I don't want to drink too much.
You don't drink at all?
No, never drank. My funny because my name is DiBuono, but people pronounce it DiBuono. But my dad would go, "I'm Bob DiBuono." He would announce himself as Bob DiBuono. I go, "Dad, you don't even know how to say our name right. It's your name. You gave it to me. DiBuono. My dad would go, "I'm Bob DiBuono." I don't know where he got his own name wrong.
That's hilarious. It's a funny last name, I got to be honest.
Well, it's not a good name to have in high school.
Yeah.
DiBuono.
Did you get picked on?
You can imagine what my nickname was, right?
No. The boner?
Yeah. Thank you. Yeah.
Bob the boner.
Yeah, say boner.
You can't say that
Boner.
no more.
No, you can't say boner.
If you
They
were in
have to
school
say
right now,
limp.
they would never call you Bob the Bono.
No, they will Bob Limpy. Bob Limp Groin.
No, wait.
DiBuono.
There's two comedians here. We got to find something really good on this one. When he was in school, they called him Bob the Boner. Bob the Boner.
Yeah.
You can't say that no more. So now what would they say? Bob the non-binary.
Yeah.
We could say that.
Right, we can say non-binary.
We really don't. I don't even know what it means.
Non-binary, flaccid.
I always thought binary meant you had stomach
Two.
pains and you were
Yeah.
all binded. Oh,
Right,
no, binary.
right. I got binary.
I'm bind.
Such a weird word, right? Binary.
Yeah, well, hey, it has nothing to do with us, so let's move right along.
Yeah.
Folks, while you're watching the show tonight, you could send us some money. We can make money while we're doing tonight's show.
wow.
And I would appreciate if you watched us here on Facebook Live, and all you have to do is hit that little bell, and when we hear that bell ring, we know we made some cash. And it's just a couple of pennies, so keep us entertained. There's a guy out there who always sends money. His name is Mike Marino. So if you're out there tonight, buddy, send us some cash so that we can laugh a little bit and let us know at the end of the month that we can go to Google and it says $32. It's true. You can make money too.
Really? I know. I tell you. It's like we're strippers.
You buy enough money.
We don't even have to take our clothes off.
Yeah, I would never take my clothes off. It's cold in the basement. Let's rewind, ladies and gentlemen, and find out where our friend Bob, maybe people called him Robert, I don't know.
Yeah.
Where are you from, man?
Grew up in Danbury, Connecticut. Family from Westchester, New York, and my whole life. But I have family all over the place. All over the place.
You're
all
a
over New York.
Connecticut guy?
Danbury, yeah. Sounds ritzy, but it's not. Danbury
Yeah, I
is
would
like
think
a very,
you think Danbury, like, oh man,
Yacht.
cookies,
Yeah, cookies and a yacht. Or
a
something.
yacht.
Yeah, that's the rich areas. That's like Ridgefield, Connecticut, and Greenwich, Connecticut. Danbury is very, very, very eclectic. It's very like all different, diverse backgrounds. You have Vietnamese people, Portuguese, black, Asian, all different types.
So that means you ate well.
I ate well, yeah.
With all
great
those
food,
different
lots of great
nationalities.
food.
That's
Everyone's
what's-
fat in Danbury. Fat asses.
See, this is what sometimes is so fucking wrong with the world. Let the people mingle and mix and say who
Right.
they are and where they're from so that
Yes.
we could eat.
Right. It's all about eating brings everyone together.
How many times in your life does somebody say to you, hey, you want to go get some nice Italian food? I know where there's good Italian food. You feel like going, no, why would I want that? I want something else. Bring me to one of them Asian joints and get me some sake or some
Yeah.
shit. Right?
Sake.
Did I say that right?
Yeah, sucky.
Get me some
Get
sucky
sake,
sucky.
and then you get sucky.
I want some
Sake
sucky.
for sucky.
Is that Mike Marino? Send us some money. I don't have my glasses on yet. All right.
Yeah.
Born
food
out in
sells
Connecticut.
everything, though.
It does, actually.
Born in Danbury, Connecticut, family from Westchester. My grandfather was a golf pro at Bonnie Briar Country Club. And my dad grew up in New Rochelle, and my mother grew up in New Rochelle, and then they moved to Danbury. My dad moved around with his job.
It's
And
New
then,
Rochelle's New York.
yeah,
Right.
New Rochelle.
Well, we got to say this: there's people actually watching from different parts
Yeah.
of the world.
Oh, true.
We're lucky that way, and we start getting some fan mail while we're talking. Because don't forget, folks, by the end, we will allow you have some conversations with Bob about being called a boner when he was a kid,
Yeah.
from being Danbury, a Danbury boner. I don't know why I keep thinking Danbury. I'm thinking
Well,
Cadbury.
So our football team. Do you play football when you were younger?
I didn't, man.
So
No.
we our high school team was the Mad Hatters. Isn't that lame?
Where's
The Mad Hatters.
High
Because we
school?
were our town, yeah, high school. Because our town was known for making hats back in like the 1800s. So while the other teams, you had like the Lions and the Tigers and these really manly, tough teams, and we were the Mad Hats. How lame is that, really? Who would play football on a team when you're young and you want to meet girls called the Mad Hatters? Right? You're playing the Lions and they would have like, a lion on a leash as their mascot. We had a fedora.
That it's
So
hilarious.
pathetic. So
Hey,
everything I
baby,
did
I'm
in my
on the
life
Mad
sucks.
Hatters. What position you play?
Yeah.
I'm the kicker.
See, right? I'm the
Hey,
visor.
wait a minute. If I could say this, we were the Raiders.
Were you really?
Scotch Plains Fanwood High School marching Raiders,
See, that's-
Raider football team, but they don't like saying Raiders anymore because that's offensive.
What is a raider anyway? Isn't
It's
it like
it's like an Indian.
It is?
Yeah.
A raider's an
He
Indian?
used to be an Indian, and
Oh.
he had the tomahawk, and they came out on a horse, and everybody went and had fun. And now it's
You can't- what do they
it's
call
a,
'em now?
It's a circle with nothing. It's
It's so stupid,
Raider.
right? And meanwhile, Indians would love to be recognized. They
You
go,
would
"Yeah,
think they
I'm an
would
Indian.
want
I'm a-"
something, some kind of
Jesus God.
memorabilia. Anyway, but speaking of high school, I was in the marching band.
You were?
And that's why, because you told me before you played the
I'm a
drums.
drummer. I saw your drum set right over there.
Did you
Yeah.
do marching band or football?
I did. One year I did marching band, and I wanted to play the drums. I thought it was so cool to play the drums. They had enough drummers, and then they go, "Well, you play the cymbals." And I go, "Yeah, that's not manly." And I had to play the cymbals. And I remember walking in through, like it was 90-degree heat in a marching thing, in a parade, and I'm just we were playing. What was that? What was the movie back then? Raiders of the Lost Ark, and we were playing the theme. And I go,
Yeah, wow.
It was so degrading. What did you do? You play the drums?
First year, I played the cymbals.
did
Second
too.
year, I played the
See?
timbali clusters. And then in my
worked your way
senior
up.
year, I was the captain of the marching band drum squad. There's my jacket still in the casing.
Oh,
That's
gee.
my marching.
Oh, shit, that's you.
That's
You're
my
right.
1981 marching
Really?
band jacket. And if you look over there to the right, up in the ceiling, my shoes,
Those are your shoes.
the white ones.
Oh, the white
here.
one. Oh, here. Oh,
My
there
my
they are.
marching
Yeah, yeah.
band shoes. I wish I could tell the cameraman. Could you get a close up on the shoes?
They are fancy.
This is my marching band shoes, size 9.
Look at that, huh?
Right?
You went up, I went down. You went from cymbals to what? To
The
the
timbales and then the tritoms.
and that was the coolest instrument, like the
Yeah.
tritom. And I went from cymbals to, they just had me at one point just with the tambourine. And then I was playing the bassoon. Out of nowhere. I ended up playing the bassoon.
How's a bassoon a
Nothing.
drum?
I don't know. They had no one left to play it. The guy died, and the kid died, and they said, "Well, it was a bassoon. Pick it up, play that."
All right,
So I
well,
went down.
let one of us needs to explain to everybody how absurd the bassoon is.
It's a stupid instrument. Hated it.
It makes the dumbest noise. I didn't even know they had a
It's-
bassoon in marching band.
It sounds like a fart.
Didn't you have
it's
to
like a wet
sit?
fart. That's what comes out.
You
a
didn't have
wet
to
fart.
sit down to play that.
You had to sit. I stood. Yeah, they made me stand. There were no chairs. I had to stand. I stand and held it.
If you don't know what a bassoon is, it's got this little tiny reed.
Yeah,
It goes on a
reed. It's called a
reed. Reed?
A reed. I think it's called
Reed.
a reed.
And
You suck
it
it.
sounds like
Well, I sucked
you're
it.
supposed to
Why-
blow,
why I was kicked
supposed
out.
to blow it.
I was kicked out.
Blow your wreath.
I was sucking it for hours, and they were like, "Dude,
It sounded like a duck.
yeah,
A duck.
yeah, like a wet fart from your uncle."
I can't. It actually would have been better off if you put marijuana in the top and just sucked on it and
Sucked
said,
on it.
"This is a bong hit called
yeah.
a bassoon." What kind of a hit did you do? A bassoon.
Yeah.
I'm so
Dude,
bassooned.
so bassooned up, man.
I'm a bassoon man. Dude, you're so high. What have you been doing? Bassoons. Who taught you how to play the bassoon? The teacher.
Were you in a band, by the way? Were you like in a
Marching
band? No,
band?
like
No.
your own. I was in a rock band.
I was never in a rock band, but I played with my two brothers
Okay.
and a piano player, and we played at weddings.
Oh, okay. It's like a being in a band. Yeah,
Then
sure.
for many years, my drum set became furniture.
Of course.
And now I brought it back to my house, and it just sits in the corner.
Yeah.
It was set up in when I was 13. I had them since I'm 13 years old.
Is that a Tama?
No, but I got some hardware from Tamba and drilled it in.
Okay.
It's an unknown set. Nobody knows the
Okay.
name of it.
All right. I had a Tama Imperial Star, which was like Tommy Lee's of Motley
Oh,
Crue.
shit.
I worked all summer at Ruby Tuesdays as a waiter to save up to get it. And I set it up beautifully. And our band's going to play now in our variety show when we're in eighth grade. We all were like Van Halen, like wannabes. You know, you have your favorite rock stars. So I grew my hair long. And my friend Eddie Ribeiro, he was so bad on the bass. Like we would unplug him in the middle of rehearsal and he wouldn't even know it. And he'd be over there jamming and he wouldn't even know he's not even plugged in because he sucked. And then we had a guy, Sean Skelly, who was the lead singer, who was 27 years old. We're in eighth grade. And he was like a dropout. And he like thought he was like David Lee Roth. He had long hair. He was like a guy who was like thrown out of school. And he was our lead singer. And we played in our eighth grade variety show. So I put my drum, I want to be cool. I get on two giant, what do you call it? The tables, the lunch tables. We put two on top of them. So I'm like 12 feet up in the air playing the drums, got the headband on, and we think we're so cool. And in the middle of the show, we're playing Ain't Talking About Love. The tables that were tied together start coming apart. And my drums are on one set of tables and my seat's on the other. So the drums are going away from me and I'm going the other way. And I fall through the crack in the middle of the song. There's just no drums because I'm in the back, knocked out on the floor, true story. And I'm just laid out and everyone's like, and we have a video of it. And everyone's like looking back, like what happened to the drums? And I'm just laid out, knocked out, hurt. And everyone thought it was part of the show. They're going nuts. Oh my God, it was a day. So that's what happened.
It's funny. I remember if you didn't have a rug, your drums just disappeared.
Yeah, yeah. You had to have the, and you would put did you ever put your like in the drums? You'd put your like you had to
Pillows?
put a pillow in there to muffle the sound, right?
Right.
Yeah.
A pillow, a sheet,
Your grandmother. I used to put my
tape.
grandmother in there.
Duct tape underneath the head.
Yeah. Yep. You know.
I can't believe you had pearl.
I had.
Nobody had pearl.
I had
You had to
Tama.
have money. A
I had
Tama.
Tama, but
pearl was
I
the
had
color.
some pearls. I had pearl bass drum, double bass drum pedals. I thought I was really the shit.
Oh, watch out now.
Oh yeah, I was like a metalhead.
So when did you start thinking, you know what? I think I'll go into the entertainment business.
Yeah,
You didn't want to
16
pursue
years
your
old.
career as
a drummer.
a drummer,
As a bassoon player?
as a bassoon.
No, I was either that or become gay. It was, the bassoon was going to be either become a.
You really play a bassoon as that comedy?
No. I did like dabble with it. I wasn't good. I
That's
wasn't
the
good.
weirdest
I
instrument.
know. I never. would
Nobody
do it.
played a bassoon.
No, it was like one of those things. Like everyone's got an instrument that's in the corner. Why don't you play that? There's no drums for you, Bob, and you're not really good at the cowbell. Just play that. And I played the bassoon.
I got two cowbells.
Do you really?
Yeah, I kept them.
Oh, you got like a little one
Stole
and a
them.
big one.
Yeah,
Oh, see, I love
I don't
cowbells.
play them anymore, but we'll have a session later. We'll have a
Well,
little drum session.
Yeah, I'm not good. I don't
We'll
have the
smoke
time.
some bassoon, and then we'll play the drums.
So I started at stand up at 16 years old.
For real?
16,
16 years old. I never even knew what comedy was.
but only did it once. I didn't do it like it wasn't like I started and then kept going. I did it once. I thought I was Gary Shandling. Went on stage for 20 minutes in a church and I'm bombing.
Money!
Does that mean we got paid?
Yeah, we got
me
paid.
get my
Do it
wallet out.
again.
Let me.
Look up. Money. Money. Do it again. Who did it?
$200 sent.
Nice. Zambuca shots.
Oh
This
my
guy's always
God.
wanting to drink. Hey, there's my cousin Lucille. Hey, everybody, how you doing? Listen, we're going to get to everybody as soon as we're done figuring out what we really do and how much bassoon weed we're going to smoke. Thank you, Mike Marino. 200. Come on, get us to 500. You could do it.
That's $200.
Bada bing.
or
Send some
200
money.
Are
Cents.
we getting? What do you? 200? What are you getting?
That's not $200.
Oh, then forget them. Block them. Block them. Then. Okay.
Send us the cash. 16 years old. He's talking about being on stage for the first time
First time
at a
yeah,
synagogue.
16 years old, and I love Gary Shandling, and I go up there for 25 minutes. I completely bomb in this church, They hate me, and they're trying to get me off the stage, and I won't get off. And they're like, Bob, you have a phone call from the side of the stage. I'm like, well, you tell them I'm on the stage. I didn't pick up any of the cues. Like they kept saying, get off. And at one point, some guy just had to get me and like escort me off. It was so humiliating. And I thought, hey, I'm 16. What do they expect? I'm 16.
How did that even come about that you were going to perform at a church?
I was like, I want to do comedy. I was writing jokes about my dad, basic jokes like, oh, my dad's so cheap. Our house is cold. He doesn't put the heat on the house. I wake up, there's a morning frost on my rug. I chill soda in my sock drawer. There's dead bugs in the house. My dad didn't even kill them. It's just, we found a dead spider wrapped in a sweet and low packet. Like just all these little funny little things
hilarious.
About my dad.
It's cute.
Cute jokes, And then I did a thing about my dad getting me irregular clothes. Ever get irregular clothing when you were a kid? You did?
Yeah.
See,
Dad, this sleeve is a little longer than the other one.
Yeah. I don't know if it's Italian dads or just dads, but my dad, very OCD with money, very frugal, and it always affected the kids and the family because they would spend money on himself, but when it came to us, he would always just try to get whatever I wanted, he would get the worst of it. I wanted a basketball thing. Remember, I want a nice fiberglass basketball hoop. He got me the one on the stand with the wheels, which was made out of that wood, that particle board wood, and it fell over. I had it for 2 days. It fell over in a storm. It broke into 1,000 pieces. I wanted to get sneakers. Back then it was Nike, or it was like the cool sneaker was the Nike. He got me John Havlicek Shore Shots. That's what they were called.
I never even heard of it.
Yeah, John Havlicek.
You should get the Pro Keds or Converse was the deal.
Right, Converse.
We didn't get Converse. That was the expensive sneaker. We got the Pro Keds that looked like Converse. Yeah. And your parents would say, it's the same thing.
Right.
Or we're going to take you to Buster Brown.
Yeah, Buster. I remember Buster. My dad would rationalize. He go. The only reason why they call these irregular pants is because somewhere in the pants there's maybe a stitch missing, and you could never even find it.
Yeah.
But he'd buy me the pants to go to school the next day, like no zipper, one pocket, like on the crotch.
No one's ever going to notice that there's 3 legs.
Yeah, terrible. I feel like we've all had that. So I had 3 pairs of jeans in 7th grade. 2 were boot cut because they were cheaper than straight leg, and 1 was straight leg. So I would go 1 day a week when I wore the straight leg. I'd have confidence. I'd walk in with my Adidas t-shirt and the straight legs. And the other 2 days, to mix it up, so I didn't want to be the guy who wore the same pants every day, I had to wear the boot cut jeans, and it was so embarrassing. No one had boot cut but me. You know how embarrassing that is? And you're trying to like fit in, and you're in 7th grade when everyone's judging you, and you're wearing boot cut. You look like a cowboy. So pathetic.
But this makes great comedy, especially when you're working with comedians who have incredible emotional recall that they can bring that back. I was thinking just the other day, my mother used to go like this: when you come home, put on your play clothes.
Oh my God!
Remember that? Your play clothes.
Yeah, my same.
And you're like, what's the play clothes? It's the dirty ones that you've been wearing every day for the past 30 days.
Yeah.
Go put on your play clothes.
Yeah.
And then when that street light goes on, if your ass isn't in this house, we're going to kick the shit out of you.
My dad would go, put your dungarees on.
Dungarees!
Put your dungarees on, would you?
Do you remember? Oh, man, the
Why
dungarees.
the dungarees, Dad? Well, you put your dungarees on when you just want to go outside and screw around. Dad, what is screwing around? What am I doing? What is screwing around? Like, I didn't know what that was.
Screw around.
My dad would go, when you want to go outside and screw around, you put your dungarees on.
Screw around. Do you remember I forgot what it was called, maybe Lee jeans, but they had these pads on your knees. It was supposed to keep you from ever putting a hole in your pants when you were playing, but your knees got ripped up. They were bloodied.
Well, back then, when I remember, it was like Lee or Levi. Those were like their 2 choices for us if you were going to wear probably jeans in school and wanted to fit in.
I think we did Wrangler jeans.
Okay, maybe Wrangler.
Levi's was the expensive jean.
Wrangler. See, I felt like, wasn't Wrangler
Dungarees. I thought
kids?
Dungaree was a brand, but I guess it wasn't.
No, it means you're putting on your crappy pants, your shitty pants that you would never wear to like church. You put your dungarees on and you go out and you screw around. Go screw around in those.
You remember this? You wore your dungarees to church. They're the good dungarees.
Right.
They're not the play dungarees.
Right. Why do you gotta look good in church? I go, I'm not going up there. I'm not speaking. We're in the back in the 8th pew.
Well, what are you going to do when you stand?
Right.
It feels like we do have the same
Did
life.
you go to church? Like we went.
Yeah.
Well, yeah.
Sunday school.
Did you leave early? We'd always left church early because
Yes.
my dad wanted
We
to beat
wanted to beat
traffic.
the traffic.
We gotta leave early. Let's go. Go up there in communion. Let's get the hell out of
Get
here.
your wafer and go right out the door. Keep on going till
Yeah.
you're in the car. Don't look at your friends.
My dad would go up again. I'm not cooking dinner. Get up there in line. Go again. He won't recognize you. Put this hat on.
In this town, Scotch Plains is St. Bartholomew's Church, and they had school, but that was a Catholic school. We went to the public school, but if you wanted to know your catechism, you had to go to Sunday school.
Yeah.
So we went to Sunday school, and then eventually me and my brothers and my friends ended up being the guys who had a job at 12 years old cleaning up after bingo.
Oh, God.
So you went to that church at like 9 o'clock at night, 10 o'clock at night, and you were petrified. And you had to sweep up all the dirt. But all you did was look at the statues and go, oh my God, it moved. It
Right.
moved.
Yeah,
We
yeah,
better
yeah.
get out
Yeah.
of here. And naturally,
Yeah.
you're going to pull pranks on each other.
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
Run!
Yeah. I remember, we used to always look at the statues. You couldn't stop looking at them, you know?
Oh.
I gotta say, some of the statues, the women had great boobs. Is that wrong? Is
You
that
know,
sacrilegious? I don't want to be
I didn't
sacrilegious.
want to go there,
I
but
don't
when
wanna
you
be
were a kid
sacrilegious.
and you're looking at that statue,
Everyone's
you're like,
naked. I was like, they're having fun.
Dad, something's wrong in my pants.
Yeah, yeah,
I feel weird.
yeah, right. I feel like,
Watch this. I'm really going to jolt him now. I didn't know we were going to do this, but I told him. we
oh,
were
he's
gonna-
surprising me. I have no idea what's coming, by the way. Oh, there we go.
Great grandma.
There we go.
Look at that.
Wow.
This is a bust of Jesus
Wow.
Christ. And now you picture being 5 years old and you're told by your parents, you said a dirty word, go in grandma's room and pray to Jesus that he'll forgive you. And you were scared out of your brains. Look at
Oh,
that.
my, it's tragic, you know?
This has got to be from the 1940s.
Was he coloring his hair, Jesus?
He's got
I'm
eye
not making
makeup
fun of him.
on.
I'm just saying
He's got blue eye scout.
he looks like Giuliani when he gave that speech.
Money!
Oh my God, 200.
Jesus got some
something in there.
cash. Jesus got the cash.
Yeah, we're working hard over. We're not even wearing
Oh,
pants.
Jesus.
I mean, come on, give us some money over here.
Look, there's like 3 hosts.
That's right. I think when you're young, religion scares the crap out of you. Like I
It
was
does.
like I'd go to church and we'd feel good about it, but you were it was nerve wracking. It was very scary. All the statues and everyone's like looks sickly.
I agree with you. It scared you into being
Good.
a good person.
Yeah,
Yeah.
of course.
You were
That's why
petrified.
it was so not fun. They don't have music. They don't have a buffet. Like, where was the buffet?
No,
No buffet, no
nothing.
food. If they, because religion now I feel like is not important in this country. And if they changed the church, like, look, every year they change the rules in baseball. They make it more attractive for people to want to go. Why isn't the church updated? Why don't they have like buffet now? You go there, you get breakfast. That everyone would go. Music,
Something.
a band, but they don't make it fun.
I think they do in certain religious places, but
Well, that's the religion I'm going to join. Then.
down the block, the school and the church is the same. They party in September and October, Italian American month, when they break out with the parties.
Yeah.
The feasts.
Oh yeah, the feast.
The feasts.
Yeah.
And nothing like a good fat meatball sandwich at a feast.
Oh God, yeah. We have every town has one, right? Like the Italian festivals. We
Yeah.
have the Vespucci Lodge.
The
in
famous one
Hamburg.
is always going to be the Feast of San Gennaro, but even that's
Yeah.
getting smaller and smaller.
Why is
What
that?
town did you grow up in?
Well, Danbury, Connecticut.
Danbury. But didn't you come back to the Jersey side now?
I have a lot of family in Jersey. A lot of family that here in the Toms River, Brick, all over. My cousins used to live across from who was the great looking model back then? Shields, Brooke Shields.
Oh, what,
She
she's
still
from New
live
Jersey?
Yeah, yeah.
I didn't even know
Oh, yeah,
that.
they lived across the street from her. I used to be like, "Dad,
Really?
let's go over there all the time. I wanted to go over there just so I could see her outside, you know?
You used to see Brooke Shields?
No, but we passed
Like on
her
the
house.
street?
My cousins lived right across the street
That's
from her house.
hilarious. That is hilarious.
They thought I wanted to go over there and visit them. I'm like, no, I'm 13. I have a boner. I'm going to go see Brooke Shields.
Look at the
Got
camera
my
there,
jeans
boner. So when did you become hardcore stand-up entertainment? 16 was the first
16,
time you went on
I
stage,
did it
and then
once, and then I never did it again. Never did it
Really?
again. No, I did it once when I was 16, and I bombed for 20 minutes, and then I didn't do it again until I was 29 years old.
really, what
Yeah.
did you do all that time?
I went into advertising, and I worked in sales. I worked for Clear Channel. I was a marketing guy. I was doing what a lot of guys do because my dad was all about, you got to get the day job. You got to, he didn't, my dad was very old school, like get the job, make the money. He didn't believe in like, nothing to believe in it. He just didn't think that you could make money doing something in an art form,
It's almost
you
impossible.
know? And he'd say to me, there's so many comedians out there. What makes you think that you're different? What makes you think you're different?
That's a great character.
I'm like, I don't know. I just want to do. I feel like comedy with any art. If you have a passion, you just feel like in your bones that if you're not doing it, you feel something's missing. Right? Is that
There's
why you did
something
it?
about being a performer that it's in your blood and you're not going to stop. It's like a drug. And the higher you climb, the worse the drug becomes, and you're
Yeah.
never going to let it go.
And we're never happy where we
Then,
are.
yes,
Are we?
I always think that I'm going to be like, once I get to that level, that's enough. I don't need any more. Then I get to that level, I'm like, you know what? I could go for a little more. So I say to myself, like now, if I was to win an Oscar, I would wonder why I don't have two.
Yeah,
I
yeah.
can't believe I only have one. This is
Yeah,
ridiculous.
it's like Donkey Kong. You get to one level, and then you're like, well, but what about these guys on this level? How come they're up there and I'm here? And then you're never happy, and that's a very bad thing. It's good to be working hard. You want to you're ambitious, but also you got to be grateful for how far you've come. Otherwise, what are you doing it for?
It's so true, but we all have that. I don't know if we call it a sickness. I did a show.
Narcissism?
I
Are we
don't know.
narcissists?
I don't know, man. But
Are we narcissists?
this past Saturday night, I did 800 seats, made a lot of money, and
Good for
people were
you.
screaming, laughing, going wild.
Where was this, by the way?
The Carteret Performing Arts Center.
Look at
It's a great
you.
place to play
800
if you want to get
seats.
in there. And when I was done, I'm like, that's it? Shit.
Yeah,
Should do it again.
yeah.
Damn. And then I look at other people's careers, and I'm like, oh, he did 2,000.
Of course.
What the
Yeah.
hell?
Yeah. Then you hate them. You hate them. You're like, maybe they'll die or something.
I wouldn't hate you.
Oh, good. What? Because I'm not doing 800-seat arenas. Wait till I get there. Then you go like that. Son of
I
a
can't
bitch.
believe he
was in
came on my
basement.
show.
He was in my
Look
basement.
at him now, the son of a bitch. And yeah, I gave him 200 cents.
All about the bassoon, and now look at that
Yeah,
jerk.
he went from bassoon to buffoon.
Yeah, right.
The Bono.
But it's like Donkey Kong. Oh, is that PC? Can you say Donkey? Maybe Honky Kong. Does that make you all better? Is that you happy now? Honky Kong.
Honky Kong.
It's like Honky Kong. You're never happy what level you're at.
I think Donkey Kong was Italian. He was Italian.
He was
The
Italian.
Italian donkey.
Italian donkey, right?
And he made a sound like you would hear from a bassoon.
From a bassoon.
So now you're doing stand-up how many years?
So right now, I'm doing it probably 22 years or something.
22 years? That's great.
Yeah.
And everybody knows you're well known for doing a couple of TV appearances and, of course, these characters that you do on stage.
Yeah.
And the legendary one that you're doing is high
Trump.
rated for being Donald Trump.
Yeah.
So how could we make some of those characters come to life on my show right now?
Well, sure. Well, Trump would come into, wherever Trump goes, Trump turns everything into like a rally. I mean, that's what he does. That's the amazing thing about the character, right? Like Trump can walk, I watch a TikTok video, he'll walk into like a wedding or at a country club, grabs the mic, and next thing you know, it's like a speech. So if he walked in here tonight, he would just like show up and he'd be like, we need the music. The music would come on and be like, well, it's a thrill to be back in the great state of New Jersey, everyone. We love this state. Home to hardworking patriots who love God, family, and country. And look at this beautiful, beautiful turnout. Look at the numbers. I'm just looking at the numbers, Mike, and these are numbers, the likes that no one thought possible. And frankly, it must have been leaked I was coming tonight because normally you don't have any numbers. They're pathetic. It's a complete disgrace. And now they heard I was coming. It must have been leaked because now you got thousands and thousands. They're pouring in. I'm just looking at it. I'm looking at it very closely. And they're pouring in. And by the way, it goes all the way back. It goes all the way back. We're just looking at it. They're coming in from all over the place. Antarctica, Brazil, and even Russia. They're coming in from Russia. And, Mike, you're a big fan of mine. You love me and I love you. And if you love me, I love you. That's how it works, right? And we have to come back because you look at this country, it's going to hell. You know that it's completely going to hell. And forget about socialism. I think we're heading to communism, really, and it's happening quickly. And I had a great life. You know this. I had a great life. And I didn't have to come back. I was making lots of money, right? I was making lots of money. But I said, I have to do it because you look at what's happening. It's terrible. Sleepy Joe Biden, when he became president, he said, I want to hit the ground running. We didn't know that was face first, getting on a metal staircase on Air Force One, right? We never thought that. It's really, he doesn't even know he's alive. He doesn't know where he is. He doesn't know who he is. And I call them Democrats because when I win, they're going to shit their pants, right? We're going to turn so many states red, Mike, that our map is going to look like Russia. It's going to be so beautiful. You got crooked Hillary, who's completely crooked. I'll be putting her in a Mexican prison. And her horrible husband, Cheating Bill. That's what we call him, Cheating Bill. One of the worst presidents in the history of the world. For 8 years, Mike, his taxes were up while his pants were down. Not good, right? Not good. And by the way, you heard about the latest thing. You heard about this horrible thing. What's happening? They want to go after me with this terrible thing with first it was the FBI, the Federal Bureau of Idiots. That's what it stands for. And they had the raid at Mar-a-Lago. And they went right into Melania's room. You heard about that. They went right into her closet. It was terrible. They didn't want top secret. They wanted Victoria's Secret. It's terrible. And now that what's happening with the horrible, they want to arrest me. Think of it. They want to arrest the greatest president in the history of the country, perhaps the world. How can you do that? That is a disgrace. Really is. I think the last time I had handcuffs on, I was in bed with Melania, right? And by the way, me and Melania, we get along very, very well because she doesn't speak English. But let me just say this. I've never slept with Stormy Daniels. I call her horseface, by the way. We call her horseface. She puts the word hoe in horse. And I never slept with Stormy Daniels. She slept. I was up all night holding in a fart. I never touched her. How was that?
It was fantastic, man. Look at all the fan mail. When did you start doing Donald Trump?
I wanted to audition for SNL like back in 2015. And people were like, you gotta, I was doing all these other voices in my act, but they're like, what are you doing like that's hot? And I'm like, I don't know. I know Al Pacino. You can't walk into an SNL audition doing Al Pacino or Norm Macdonald. So I was like, I don't know. They're like, you got to get Trump down. He's running. So I started working on Trump after 4 months. I got the voice down. And then a friend of mine pitched it. He was working as a showrunner for Comedy Central's nightly show. And I saw him at the Comedy Cellar. And I said, I think I got Trump down. Why don't you, if you want a Trump, I'll do Trump. You should pitch it to Larry Wilmore. He pitched it to Larry Wilmore. 2 weeks later, they give me a call. They're like, dude, Larry loves it. He wants you to come in and do a reading. That night, I do a reading in the writer's room. That night, I'm on the air live in front of like a television audience, out there at 11:30. Next thing I know, I'm like their exclusive Donald Trump. Then the show goes off the air. I'm like, oh my God. I was like on 10 episodes or whatever, 8 episodes. Goes off the air. Trump wins. I'm like, oh my God, I'm in. SNL. They're all going to be calling me. And what happens is nobody's calling me for months. And I'm like, what's going on? And I realize it's because I think, you can give me your opinion on it, that they were so mad that he won. Because in the beginning, he was a buffoon. He's running, he's stupid. But then when he won, everyone was angry and there was a hangover. And then they didn't want to make Trump funny. Because then they realized, oh, this is serious. He's our president. So they all wanted to take control of the Trump narrative and do impressions on their own. But you notice, other than SNL, no one was bringing on a Donald Trump. And then after like 8 months, when that kind of dissipated, they were like, oh, well, we got to do something now. He's the president. So then I was on The View and Jimmy Kimmel, and there was the voice of Trump on Murphy Brown. Got to tour with Kendrick Lamar and rapper YG.
What did you do with them?
For a whole month, 2017, it was called the Damn Tour. I was coming out as Donald Trump for like 3 minutes. It was like the heel at a wrestling WWE. I would come out on stage right in the middle of the show during YG's songs, and then as Trump give like a rally in front of 30,000 people.
Holy
start
shit.
doing what I'm doing now. And people, it's a cacophony of like screams, jeering, cheering, laughing, crying, people flipping out. And then he would come out and he would sing his song, FDT. He would sing a song called Fuck Donald Trump. And people in the middle of the show before Kendrick Lamar would come out, I was like a superstar. People coming down from the rafters, autographs, pictures. And for a whole month, I lived on a bus with Bloods gang members from Compton and YG, 2 strippers, a couple of white guys, and for a month we lived on a bus, touring all over the country, 18 cities.
Dude, that's got to be the most exciting thing I've ever heard. And you got to hang out with all those dudes?
And then got to do Coachella, 80,000 people, back in 2019, right before all the COVID.
And what were you doing at Coachella? Hosting?
Trump. Came out as Trump. Yeah, right before, with
Holy
YG,
shit.
and it's all on video. You can check it out. Just go
People,
to
if you're listening to this, you're talking about a concert that would hit at least 20 to 30,000 people watching live,
yeah,
right?
yeah, 80,000 in person.
80,000.
In person, and
How's
then you
that
had
feel?
it streaming all over the world. And I remember I was down, I was under the stage. There's a video I could show you. I was under the stage, and right in the middle of what it was, it's an all day concert, and right, it was just starting to get a little dark, and they're going to have me come out of the floor, and out of the floor, this riser would come up, which me on it is Trump, and there's just silence, and everyone sees now that it's me as Trump, and they start cheering and yelling and screaming, and then I break into a rally saying everything that I can to offend the crowd. Now, look at all these horrible people. You'll be on the other side of the wall very quickly. Look at all the women. I'll be groping many pussies tonight.
Were they screaming?
Screaming. They're loving it. They're loving hating me, because I mean, some people like me, but a lot of them also, they're young. And if they like, rap, they're probably not fans of Trump. So they're kind of yelling, but they're having fun with it. But some people are throwing water bottles. And so you had some people getting really angry because they're taking it seriously. They're not getting the comedy. And then YG would come out after 3 or 4 minutes, and he'd be like, F Donald Trump. And he'd go into his song. And then Trump would run off the stage. And we did that at Coachella, and we did it for a whole month. 18 cities, Canada, United Airlines Arena in Miami, like just all the biggest arenas.
And that's
Crazy.
amazing. That's amazing. And then you're saying to yourself, that's over and you want more.
And then,
Because now I'm saying to myself, 800 seats? Oh, man, I'm a loser. He did 80,000. And you got to be in the bus with the rock stars.
well, yeah.
I want to
Well,
be in the bus with the rock
well,
stars.
Blood's gang members from Compton. A little.
That is so
I
weird.
wish it was a little more.
What the hell were they doing with you, man?
Oh my God.
Were they
of us-
nice to you? Were they cool dudes?
So what? There's a little wonderful moral here. Like they didn't know me, I didn't know them, and when you see a lot of these young guys in the inner city, they don't like white guys, and they don't trust anyone out of their circle. So you're not only you're not in their circle, but you're a white guy, and you're playing Trump, who they hate. They hate Trump. So they would see me out without makeup on. They go, yo, fuck Trump, fuck Trump. You're like, bro, me, comic, get it? Sarcasm.
It's a
irony.
joke.
The fuck Trump. And they wouldn't talk to me the whole time. They never got close. And there's one guy that I got to be friends with, the nicest guy out of all of them. His name was Buddha. And he was like the most kind of docile, submissive kind of guy.
That's
He
why his
wasn't
name
aggressive.
was Buddha. Very
Buddha.
relaxed.
Well, guess what? I find out a year later, he's in prison for murder
Oh,
for life. The nicest guy out of all of them.
well, don't
The
ever mess
nicest.
with Buddha.
Yeah.
That is unbelievable.
But I went back after 2 years later to do Coachella, and they were hugging me. And so we developed such a respect for each other because I understood more of their world by living with them, and they understood mine. And at the end of the day, you're all on the same team, and you're all there to do a job. And I knew a lot of these guys came from the worst parts of LA. I mean, Compton, and they're legitimate bloods, remember? I mean, one of them that lived on our bus, Slim 400, died. I don't know if you saw it on TMZ a couple years ago. He was shot 8 times in his girlfriend's driveway by some thug punk. And these kids, what I learned is that when they join a gang, everyone thinks, oh, if you're in a gang, they're gang banging, killing everyone. A lot of them, they don't do any violence. They just join the gang because that's the neighborhood they grew up on. That was their block. And if they
Right.
don't join that
That's
group,
their family.
no different than the Italians. You grew up in a certain section, kind of like the Bronx Tale. Like everyone knew the local guys, and if you didn't play with them, then you were considered kind of like their enemy. So it's all about neighborhoods.
That is a weird, crazy entertainment story that you go from playing the bassoon to performing on a truck.
Right. To
That
be
is-
balloon. I went to,
Let
from
me ask you a
bassoon to
question,
balloon.
though. I would assume that's big money.
Yeah, I mean, it was pretty good money. I mean, I negotiated it. I have an entertainment lawyer, but at the time, I mean, they always come at you with like, oh, I mean, they found me. Everything I ever got out there, and I don't know about you, but I have an agent, but 90% of the things I ever get is through people finding me or people recommending me. It's never through an agent. It's usually through, and not because the agents aren't good. It's just that people find you, and they emailed me out of the blue and just said, "I'm the manager of YG. Do you want to do the Kendrick Lamar tour?" It's called the Damn Tour. It's 18 cities. They're all going to be sold out, 30,000 at a show. I didn't know who Kendrick Lamar was.
I still kind of don't.
I thought he was a linebacker for the Baltimore Ravens.
He's not?
No, he's a rapper. He's like one of the biggest
I know,
rappers
I
out there. I had no idea.
I know, I know.
I said, am I on, is this a football team? What do you
We
want
all
me to
know
do?
Snoop Dogg. That's it.
Yeah, we don't know. I don't
Snoop.
know this stuff.
We don't know any Snoop songs. We just know Snoop.
So it was interesting.
But that is a really unbelievable
Yeah.
tale of the tape. I mean,
Yeah.
come on, you went from Saturday Night Live, and then you went on this big, big tour, and so now what's going on in your career, and what are the
So,
other characters that you do besides Donald
yeah.
Trump?
Well, the Trump thing is gotten me a lot of private events over the last couple of years. The last 6 years, a lot of private events doing Donald Trump all over the country. Republican conventions, like really high-end conventions with like Corey Lewandowski and the Candace Owens of the world. And then parties. Like, I mean, I do parties all the time, backyard barbecues, birthdays, anniversaries, where people are like, come to my house, come to our catering hall, show up as Trump and give like a rally speech. And it's
That's
hilarious.
hilarious, and you just go off the top of your head and have
Yeah, and
fun.
I can stay in character 24 hours as Trump.
Oh, no kid.
Yeah, like I have when I first did, I had maybe 5 minutes, and now I could literally. I've been at Republican conventions 8 hours in character.
So when you do
So,
some of these parties, do you put like, I don't know, red mascara or
well, I'm Trump. The
try
whole
you
outfit.
tan yourself?
Yes, the whole
The
outfit.
wig,
If you guys go on YouTube, type in my name, and you can see me at a bunch of private events as Trump.
BobDeBono.com.
No, just go on YouTube, type in Bob DiBuono. You can
Bob
see
DeBono.
all my clips coming up from private events, or get me on TikTok because my TikTok, I get a lot of work off TikTok, Mike.
Yeah.
Yeah, people, I say, if you want to book Bob DiBuono for Trump, here it is. And it's amazing how much work you get off there. Shocking.
So are you mostly doing just private events rather than going into
So
a
it's
club or?
clubs and private events. So like either or. Like some weekends, like I'm up in Utica at Fat Cats in a couple weeks headlining. And then like last weekend, I had 3 events doing Trump,
So
and
if you
no
go
club
to
work.
if you go to Fat Cats, do you do just Trump or you do your whole act?
Headlining. Just, yeah, regular headlining act is me, as a comic. So it's like, when people book me, it's like the Trump thing is a kind of a separate thing on its own. So I'm doing all the club dates as a stand-up comic. I'm doing Florida. You ever do Snappers? I do Snappers, Fort Laugh-In and Fort Myers. I just did Kazi's in Virginia. I like doing little clubs. Some are smaller, some are bigger. And I love the stand-up. And then the Trump thing is just taking on a life of its own.
So you put Trump in your stand-up performance?
Yeah, out of my whole act, and then with other voices.
I love going to Snappers. They have 2 of them.
Yeah,
There's Snappers Comedy Club in
yeah,
Fort Myers, and there's the other one in Palm Harbor.
yeah.
And there's a lot of different comedy clubs and, of course, performance venues around the world that we're lucky enough to go into now that the world is open back up. You don't have to wear the mask. You go out, you enjoy. You don't have to have that vaccination bullshit. You just do what you do. Someone just asked, can you do Rocky?
I never worked on Rocky because everyone was already doing them when I was younger.
That's right.
So I was like, I don't want to do something that's already been done to death. So him and the other one. Who's the other one everyone always does?
Travolta?
Well, no, not him, but that's another one.
I think I know who you
What's his
mean.
name? From
Everybody
Deer
does
Hunter
him.
with De
Yes,
Niro.
I can't think
Hello,
of
why
his
can't we
name.
tell us who it
This
is?
is this, not De Niro, but the guy who was in the scene with De Niro.
That, what?
No, it's not
Pesci,
Pesci.
but Pesci's another popular one.
Yeah, of
But I
course.
do like some old school ones, like you're talking about,
What
like
the hell's that guy's
Nicholson.
name? I can never remember his name, and everybody does him.
I know. I'm gonna
I hate
think.
it.
I'm gonna think of it. I'm gonna think of it.
One time, they said that.
Yeah,
And
who's
what
that?
the fuck's his
You're
name?
doing it now. Wait, are we thinking of the same guy?
Yeah.
Who am I thinking? Oh,
He's been in so many movies,
oh
but
my
nobody
God.
remembers his
He
name.
was on SNL. He did
Christopher Walken.
Thank you. Thank you.
Thank you,
Thank
Gypsy
you.
Woman.
So I do some old school ones like the Nicholsons. Do you realize that I
Have you
work?
met Trump?
Do you like interrupting when you're dancing around in your little garden? Well, I work all the time. And I would do like the old school ones, and then like the Dr. Phil's. Well, here's the deal here. Are you nuts? What we need to do here is figure out why you want to sleep with your sister. So I would do different. Norm Macdonald. Hey, yeah. You ever light us on for no reason? You ever do that there? You're like, yeah, I saw that movie. And in the back of your mind, you're thinking, I never saw that movie. Man, I had nothing to gain by that light there, right? Man, oh man, there. So just that's you sprinkle in I sprinkle in my stand up.
I didn't put this out there yet, but it's happening, so we're going to have to go with it. If anybody wants, everybody's asking you for different personalities to do.
Oh,
Someone just
yeah.
said Denzel Washington. There's Bush,
Yeah, Bush.
Christopher Walken.
Bush, I want to say this. I never here. We the United States. We're a great country. We're a great country. Bill Clinton, it is so good to be here. You have no idea. I can't believe I have to live with Hillary. She is such a bitch. She has bigger balls than I do. I can't believe it. But I want to say this. I never slept with Tara Lipinski. I never touched her, the ice skater or the Olympian or whatever the hell she is. Matt Dillon, come on, man. Yeah, I know you had a problem yelling in people's goddamn faces, man. Come on.
Whatever happened to Matt Dillon?
I used
Haven't
to
seen
love
him
Matt
in a
Dillon.
long time.
My friend knows him pretty well. But I've
Really?
never met
Where'd he
him.
go?
You know who knows him well is Eddie Brill, the
Really?
comedian. He's friends with Matt Dillon. I don't know how.
Eddie Brill, a fellow comedian.
Fellow
Well, let's take in some questions for Bob right now, okay? We'll take him over here on Instagram, and Bob will tell us where he's going, where he's performing. We were going to talk about baseball bats and why they are important in your life back in the day. Maybe you would like to tell him. There's a lot of baseball bats in my house,
lot.
and we use them for protection because I don't play softball or baseball. Why don't you take it from there, Bob?
Well, we're talking about bats.
Bats.
My dad had a bat under his bed, one bat. And my dad's batting average in high school was 125. So I said, Dad, if someone breaks in, there's a good chance you're not going to get him. I go with the gun. You're a better shot.
Isn't it amazing having a baseball bat under the bed? You keep it behind the
Yeah,
door.
right. You don't
That's
have
where
enough
you
time.
put it. You're
Right,
never going
right.
to get it.
You know who got hit by the bat? I did. No burglar. I got hit by the bat.
This question comes in from a friend of mine. Her name is Kat Patterson, and the question is, Bob DiBuono, did you ever meet Donald Trump in person?
It's a great question. I have not met Donald Trump yet, but I know a lot of people who know Donald Trump. A good guy I grew up with, Glenn Moss, is good friends with Donald Trump's son. They play golf together. So I know he knows of me, but we have not met yet. And I would love to open for him at a rally because I think it would be hilarious.
That's great, man.
Any other questions?
Brooke Shields lived in Haworth,
Yes.
North Bergen.
Thank you. Thank you.
Thank you, Marianne.
That's remember I used to wear my tight jeans over there.
Here's a little write-in from Debbie DeLeese, who I've been begging to come on the podcast. She owns one of the most famous bar, restaurant, nightclubs in New Jersey. Do you know what it is?
No.
The Wonder Bar in
Oh.
Asbury Park.
Oh crap! I know that. I passed by that place.
Wonder Bar. Everybody's
wondered
been to
about
the
it.
Wonder Bar. It's right
Now I
across
know.
the street from the Paramount.
Yep.
And of course the legendary Stone Pony.
Yeah.
You ever played down there?
No, but I went to a wedding reception down there. Never played down there.
All right. Well,
I
we're
don't do
still
the
looking.
800 seat thing.
1600. 1600. But I didn't do 80,000, so excuse me. Excuse me. Excuse me. Do you do
Excuse
De
me.
Niro?
Excuse
He
me.
does.
Excuse me.
How many impersonations do you do?
I don't know. I don't count. I don't really have a. I don't really count. I do some old school ones. Remember Ted Knight? I used to love Ted Knight.
Yes.
Do you know what I just saw? A gopher. Do you know what they can do to a golf course? You go over there. I don't even do that. I used to do it years ago, but I just remember that was like one of the first ones I ever did.
All right, so we're going to put him on the spot. Somebody's yelling, "Go Giants," and I know he's from California. CJ Niner, how you doing? I think the classic scene in that movie, which was Caddyshack,
I love Caddyshack.
with what's his name again?
Ted Knight?
Ted Knight, and he places that big bet, and it's his turn, and he grabs that golf club. Take it from
throws
there.
it.
Take it from there.
Well, he throws the golf club.
No.
What?
It's at the end of the movie when he goes, "I'll double that bet," and he grabs that golf club.
And then what is he? I don't remember what he
Oh.
says. No, what does he
I was
say?
hoping you would do it.
Damn it.
Billy Barul.
Oh, Billy. Billy Brew. Don't let me down, Billy Brew. Don't let me down.
Can you impersonate Mike Marino? Whoa!
I just met him. Whoa. Give me a week.
That is cool as shit. I'll leave. You come back and do me. Can you do Mike Marino? That was really cool. All right. All right, well, listen, man, why don't you tell us where you got going on and where we could watch you perform
Yeah.
and what's going on in the history of your career from tonight
Yeah.
forward.
Well, I've got a show. I do a monthly show at the Comedy Cove in Springfield, which you're always more than welcome to come do if you want to. Just
Hey, wait a
come
minute now. Let
play
me hear
around.
about that because the Comedy Cove is in about 15-minute drive from where we are.
Yeah.
It's a great place. They got great food upstairs, downstairs,
Yeah.
and they have a comedy club that they've been doing for quite some time.
Yeah.
So what are the dates?
So I do a show there every month. The next show is this Saturday. Actually, it's a dinner show from 5 p.m. to 7 p.m. and we usually sell out. We average 100 to 115 a show. We have 3 headliners on the show. It's a showcase, so we do 15 to 20 minutes each. There's locals that get on the show as well. Everyone promotes it, and it's been amazing. We've been doing it since COVID.
Folks, visit my friend Bob DiBuono on his social media, because
Yeah.
if you're in New Jersey and you're close to Scotty's, it's a lot of fun. And if it's a dinner show, I mean, come on,
Yeah.
you grab yourself some baby back ribs,
Yeah.
a nice hamburger, some French fries, and you laugh a little bit.
Yep.
Before it goes any further, someone's asking, can you do Rodney Dangerfield?
I never did Rodney. Never worked on him.
Wasn't Rodney the
At
best?
least I'm honest, right? You don't want me to do a
Yeah,
half-ass
right.
impression. If I don't have it, I don't have it.
Rodney Dangerfield was the best.
I love Rodney. And I had a show, that show that I do at the Comedy Cove, I did at Dangerfields for 6 years up until COVID before it closed.
Oh, no kidding.
Yep, we had a residency there. And our show that we've been doing, it's called Character Flawed, and we've been doing it for 23 years. Started Stand Up New York, 16 years, went to Dangerfields, now it's at the Comedy Cove. So if they want tickets, you go on Eventbrite, you type in Character Flawed.
Character Flawed. What a great title.
You know Eric McMahon, comedian?
I'm not familiar
Okay.
with him. I
You
mean,
know
I'm
Maureen
familiar with him.
Langan?
I'm not. Yes.
She's on the show. Me,
No
her,
kidding.
and Eric McMahon this Saturday. Yeah.
This Saturday.
Yeah. Now you're a big.
I'm
he's
going to
a
be in
big shot.
Florida.
I would ask him to come down anytime he wants to work on some stuff, but he's a big deal. So I would throw it out there. Go, hey, if you want to stop in, you stop in.
You know what? When you're invited somewhere by your peers, you go. And I actually would show up and just watch the show. I don't want to get on stage. I just want to be entertained.
Would
I
you
want
play
to
the
laugh.
bassoon?
I would play the bassoon. I'd play the buffoon. He was classic. Oh, somebody was saying that he was classic. Oh, I thought you meant one of us was classic.
Oh, thanks, hey,
All right,
thanks.
thank you. Appreciate that. Send us some money. What is the social media again?
Well, people, if you guys got TikTok, I'm on TikTok. If you want to see all my Trump videos, it's Bob DiBuono on TikTok, or on Instagram, it's Bob DiBuono, DiBuono, and my stand-up is on there and my Trump. And if they want to hire me for a Trump party, you just email me. You can just email me at my email, bobintense@gmail, and I do private parties all over the country, including Jersey.
You don't give out your phone number no more?
Oh, I can do that. Do they want
No,
my
no.
number? I'll take that. I'm desperate. I'm desperate.
I give out a service number,
Yeah.
but I never give out my phone number. Are you kidding me?
Yeah, it's
There was a
great.
time where I wanted
There
to.
was a time we
Then
did
all of a
that.
sudden you start getting
Yeah.
all these crazy phone calls.
Oh, God,
I never
yeah.
even thought I would use the term follow me.
Yeah, I know it.
Follow me. Who are you to follow me? Get the hell away from me.
Yeah, trolls.
Right?
Yeah, it's scary.
I would just assume this also makes you an actor as well.
Yeah. I'm in a new
Because-
movie coming out.
Oh, okay. So then let's
Forgot
bring
to
that
tell
up.
you. I
Yeah.
forgot.
Here
It's
it
not that big
is.
of a-
I've got my notes here.
Oh, well, I'm in a new movie coming out called Can't Let It Go, and I play Donald Trump in the movie. It's Mario Cantone, and it's called Can't Let It Go. It's coming out this summer.
You met Mario Cantone?
I know him from Caroline's as a comedian, but I didn't shoot when I shot this movie. I shot it after he had shot his scene, so we didn't see each other on the movie.
Oh, no kidding.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, but I knew him when I was a waiter at Caroline's, and he used to come in all the time and perform.
You waited tables at
I
Caroline?
was a waiter for 3 years. Yeah, I saw Paul Mooney, 12 o'clock at night, 3 hour show. I'd be waitering, get home at 5 in the morning. I saw some of the best comics. Remember Rich Voss? He was there all the time.
Yes.
Okay, loosen up, okay? I used to date this homeless woman. That was great. When I was done having sex with her, I could drop her off anywhere. We're home. Loosen up, okay? I got more credits than anybody.
I wish everybody out there knew exactly who Richie Voss was, because he did that perfectly. I used to open for Richie Voss a long,
Did you
long
really?
time ago when he had long hair. He had a
Jerry curls
ponytail.
or something, right?
Yeah, he's from this area.
He is,
I
yeah.
could have sworn he actually lived in this town, or Plainfield.
Plainfield.
Richie Voss. Yeah, he's a legendary comedian. Now he's married to
Bonnie McFarlane.
who's a comedian as well.
Yeah, she's hilarious.
Wow, isn't that something? Could you imagine marrying a comedian? Good
I know.
God.
Right. I know. I could barely be by myself. I hate myself. Be with another comic
Can you
like
imagine
me. Ooh.
Honey, can I work out this joke with you? No, leave
you
me
can't.
alone.
No, you're bombing already. Stop talking to me about your jokes.
Didn't who play at Stress Factory, Cat? Did you play Stress Factory?
Yeah,
Yeah,
I
he
have.
plays
Not
Stress
recently,
Factory.
but yes.
I thought we were talking
Yeah.
about Richie Voss. He plays the Stress Factory. I play the Stress
Yeah.
Factory.
Okay.
We're all stressed out. We play the factory.
Yeah. The other night I jerked off. I came in my eye and I want a
Richie
stuffed
voice.
animal.
I never forget. I saw Richie Voss do this one joke. Now I can't do him, but he goes like this. I thought download was when you come on your shoe.
I thought download was when you come on your shoe. Why do they call it coming? It could be called going.
He used to say the weirdest things. He would go like this. I think I'll take the dryer door off and hit you in the head. Or something,
Yeah.
something like that. I
Or
can't do
crack addicts try to sell you anything. Yo, I got an oven door.
it. Is that the way to turn it on? I really destroyed his routine. He's great. Another great comedian. A lot of great entertainers come out of New York and New Jersey. Let's be honest, especially New Jersey, because we live hard and we work hard and we want to be funny and enjoy.
Boner.
Right? Can't let it go. Where can anybody see this
Coming
movie?
out this summer. It's gonna be in film festivals, and from there probably go to streaming.
So that must have been great to actually play Donald Trump in a movie.
And so, what a great compliment to have a director who's Roy. His name is Roy Zuppo, and to say, "Wow, you're the most accurate Trump I've ever seen. I want you in my movie." I mean, that's the compliment. Just to be asked that. I didn't care about the money. The money was, it was like a SAG thing, but it was just being able to go, "Wow, I can be in this movie, and it's going to be pretty cool." So, yeah.
That's absolutely fantastic, man. There's one thing that is great when we start hitting certain places in this industry is you play with people that you admire or you work with people that you admire. I was just given this picture last week by this gentleman, Jason Bernard, who was on the podcast, and he brought this. So this is me. This is Terry Polo, who was in all the Meet the Fokker movies.
Oh, yeah.
So she's really good friends with Robert De Niro, and this is Robert Davi.
Holy
Now,
crap.
Robert Davi has been in a lot of movies. He was in the Goonies all the way up to when he's doing movies now, of course. But he sings like a Sinatra review.
Oh, does
So I
he?
became his opening act. But this is from a movie called Four Cousins and a Christmas. And that's yours truly in a scene when I played the brother-in-law that everybody hated. So anyway, it's nice to get this gift. Maybe when you're on your movie set, you can make an autograph and send it to me.
Shit.
So, well, listen, folks, we had a lot of fun down here in the basement with my friend Bob DiBuono. I want to thank him so much for coming down here and making us laugh and doing one of the best Trump impersonations I've ever seen in my entire life. It's not an easy thing to do. And as you can see, he made it all up off the top of his head with what was going on in the situation right here, right now. That is talent. All right, well, listen, we got to get going. Bob, tell them one more time where they can find you on all social media, because they will follow you.
Instagram is Bob DiBuono, TikTok, Bob DiBuono, Facebook, Bob DiBuono Live.
Bob DiBuono, everything.
And Boner, that's another video.
Boner. We're going to do a part 2 of Live from My Mother's Basement, Ode to a Boner. Wait a minute. It goes, oh, salute. Somebody's writing from Italy. Okay, I don't speak Italian that well. Salute to you, too. Well, listen, we got to get going. Remember, everybody, let's make America Italian again. That's my motto. And you don't know nothing, you don't see nothing, you don't say nothing. I want to thank my producer, Tatiana Bluchel, for always making sure that these podcasts rock, and she helps us get great, great guests. And right now, I can actually see next week's guest, April 4th, is Manja with Michelle. She's coming down the basement. She's going to be cooking on the show, and she's going to bring in Italian delicacies from Philadelphia, which is where we just were this weekend. So thank you so much. We will see you next Tuesday night, live from my mother's basement, April 4th, with Manja with Michelle. All right? Well, we got to get going. And how do I end my broadcast? By always saying the same thing. Wait, did I say? Wait a minute. I'm fucking it up. Hold on a minute. I got to go to my notes. I want to thank my... It's Luciano, taking Italian. Next week, Luciano, you got to come with Manja with Michelle. I got your sauce right here. Hey, I got your sauce. I got it right here. These guys are writing in Italian. Now you're writing? We've been talking for an hour.
Jesus.
He can impersonate you. You guys from Italian? He's really from Italy.
Oh, really?
Yeah. He don't talk like us. He talk like this. Hey, oh, bello, bello. It makes you feel a little weird in your pants. Anyway, so I got your sauce. We're going to do something great. I got your pizzelles down here. Well, I'm going to save this for all next week's show. All right? Remember, folks, you can stay in touch with the show Live from My Mother's Basement on iTunes, Google, Spotify, radio. Radio station in New York is actually Italian American Radio. You can get on that radio station if you want to talk to my friend. We're on YouTube, Instagram, Twitter, LinkedIn, TikTok, and Patreon. You can follow me also at MikeMarino.net. I love my producer, Tatiana Blue Shell. She does a great job. In fact, if you think you're a perfect character to be on the show, why don't you write to her? Say hello at Mike Marino Entertainment at gmail.com. You could send us some fan mail at Mike Marino Fans at gmail.com. And if you want to call me, you kind of can't, because I'm not giving out my number. All right, here's how we end our broadcast, by always saying the same thing with my guest. Don't take no shit from nobody.
Yeah.
Ready?
Okay.
Don't take no shit from nobody. That was good.
Excuse me.
That was good.
Okay. Don't do that.
Hey folks, I hope you're enjoying watching my podcast live from my mother's basement. We're having a lot of fun, and I'm going to have a lot of great guests on the show in the future. So if you like it, hit like. You could also leave a comment. You could subscribe to my YouTube channel and watch other funny videos. And you could also listen to my podcast on your favorite podcast app like Spotify and iTunes.